Hey, everybody. Welcome to our Monday night team call. My name is Chris Rosencrans, and I am a Diamond Gold Ambassador. I have been with Plexus for almost 8 years, which is so crazy to say because next year is 9 years, obviously. And you guys, that's half the amount of time that I taught elementary PE. So that's crazy to me because I taught, 18 years. And so that's a long time to be in the education. And I taught through having my babies and all of that, just had them, went back and all of that. So 18 years, I remember when I quit, that was something my mom was like, but you've only taught 18 years or something like that. And I was like, yeah, but I did it nonstop, like that was when her objection, like she didn't really think this Plexus thing was that big of a deal. And so I think this is a big deal. I remember where I was at with my teaching career at 8 years in. So, I mean, I was seasoned. I had a couple of student teachers by then. I mean, that's crazy to think about. So, pretty excited to be here and chat with you guys tonight. Um, we're going to talk about choices and I'll get to why in a little bit, but this kind of morphed over the last week, you guys. I actually had to go back in a chat that I had with Sal talking about team call and just topics and things that I know that I've been going through in my own personal business and things that we all are going to go through. And so I just really felt really called over the weekend to talk about choices um, because we make them every day, right? From the time that you get up in the morning to when you lay your head on your pillow at night, you've made hundreds, if not thousands of choices. Have you ever stopped to think about what comes as a result of the choices that you make? Whether they are small or big, each one makes a difference as to how your day will go. Some may not affect you very much, but others may affect you a lot. And sometimes the choices you make today may not make a difference in that very moment, but it's the minutes, the hours, the days, the weeks, and even the years ahead that may be affected. For example, just tonight, I'm doing the reset right now. Just kind of decided yesterday, okay, we're just a couple days away from leaving for the cruise, and I need a reset for multiple reasons. But honestly, sometimes it's not super fun to have to make the choice to drink or eat the soup at night, especially when my family is having something else that's yummy. And so tonight I'm happy to say when I went upstairs to make my dinner, um, everybody was eating something else and kind of a leftover night because I'm not cooking when I'm doing the reset. And I was like, oh, I so want whatever, chili or whatever, leftover tacos and whatever. And it just smelled so good. But I literally had to do some self-talk through that possible choice of sabotaging my reset and just having supper. And Kevin is amazing because he is yes and no. He's always amazing, but he was like, do it. Just have some soup. And I'm like, or just have some chili or whatever. I'm like, Kevin, no, you're gonna like make me derail my reset. And so I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do it. I'm going to. So I put the water in the tea kettle and heated that up and I made my soup. And I was really proud of myself for making that choice because you know what? I probably would have really loved having some chili tonight because it's like, if you have just gotten on, it's super blustery outside here. It's super windy. You can hear it. My outdoor furniture is being thrown across my backyard. So it's definitely like chilly weather, whatever. But thankfully it's soup too for the reset, right? So that's kind of in that same realm. But I would have been really disappointed in myself. And I probably would have beat myself up a little bit about that choice. And I eventually would have been like, well, it's okay. I made the choice. Now I'm going to have to live with this. Not going to be as great of results as I wanted. Because I would have like kind of gone down that road, so I made the right choice and I can be proud of myself for that. And I'm going to stay on track and do my reset tomorrow with no issues and be like, okay, I did this. I conquered that. That was a good choice. So again, we make a lot of choices. And this is obviously a topic that we've covered many times over the years. And a lot of it has come from different books that we've studied. But I honestly, think that I really don't think this is something that we can ever stop talking about. Our choices are very important, and it's vital that we take some time to reflect on the decisions we make throughout our days and the impact that they have on us, our families, our friends, our community, our goals, and so much more. Everything is dependent on our choices, you guys. So recently, like in the last 2 weeks, our family made a choice to help a young lady who's been making not so great choices and decisions. I spent a lot of time over these last 2 weeks in conversation with her and her parents about those choices, but not just the ones that she's made, also the ones that they have made. This is not easy. And it really made me think a lot about how our choices can affect us and those around us, both positively and negatively. So I'm stating the obvious here, but I'm pretty sure we all want to be successful from the choices that we make. But because of our humanness and the fact that we are sinners, we can get in our own way of making the good choice versus the bad choice. And because of what we've learned from books and probably even more from experience, those good and bad choices can set us up for success or failure. We will follow a path that either raises us up, getting us closer to our goals, or we will follow the path that digs us deeper into a pit that we may not know how to get out of. But even in that pit, we do have a choice. So I'm going to start with something that will seem kind of simple. With each and every choice you make, you need to ask yourself, will this help or will this hurt? Will eating this help or hurt my health? Will skipping my workout today help or hurt my goal to be stronger, lose weights, whatever your goal is for working out every day? Will scrolling social media help or hurt what I need to get done today? Will letting the dishes sit in the sink help or hurt my goal to keep my kitchen cleaner? Will ignoring my child's sassy talk help or hurt them or others? Will what I listen to, read, watch, who I surround myself with, will that help or hurt my thoughts and behaviors? Will any of the decisions I make today help or hurt the goals I have for my business, my customers, and my team? And you guys, we can go on and on and on. If you have goals for yourself, your family, your relationships, your current job, your Plexus business, your health, anything at all, each and every choice you make will either help or hurt your success in achieving those goals. Sure, some of those goals might seem pretty small, and some will be very different for you and your goals compared to someone else's. But if you stay in your own lane, as you should, and look at your current circumstances and assess the decisions you've been making on a daily basis, get real with yourself and ask if what you did today helped or hurt those goals. If they helped, give yourself a nice pat on the back and keep on keeping on with those helpful choices. But if they hurt your goals, okay, and you're recognizing that, it's good that you are being honest about it. But now, what are you going to do to change that choice for next time? Because honestly, you're possibly going to be faced with the same situation again. Just like I was with doing the reset. This might have been my 7th or 8th reset now. So I'm no stranger to the choices I have to make to be consistent and finish my reset. But again, I have to make that choice every time I do that reset. We have continuous choices that we have to make each and every day, day in, day out. It's great if you recognize that you made a hurtful choice in some of those choices, but if you never take action to mentally and physically change, then chances are you're going to choose the hurtful option again and again and again. Thinking on this topic, so I started to look through the books that we've read for book club, and the ones that popped out to me the most were Atomic Habits, The 10X Rule, Slight Edge, Successful Women Think Differently, and Born to Win. And there's a lot more in there too, but I didn't want to list them all. So that's a lot of learning opportunity to grow and become better in making the next right choice. And a lot of really smart people that have put words to paper and have laid things out really nicely for us. So rereading those books is not a bad idea if this is something that you struggle with, especially if you want to conquer those things and you want to improve. But one of the books that actually jumped out the most is Uncle John's Success is a Choice. So I have it right here. And I don't know if you guys remember reading this book. It wasn't that long ago. I don't remember how long ago that was, but man, you guys, this whole book, I highlighted almost like the entire thing, underlined. And I feel like I do that with a lot of my books, but this book was powerful. And as soon as I turned to like the very first page and just to like kind of open it and get to the contents of the book, I went to the table of contents, and each and every chapter title jumped out at me as I was looking through it. It really showed that it showed choices that will either help or hurt the goals that we have that are going to help us with our, like, at least me, with my faith, my life, my family, my friendships, and my business. I truly feel like this book is amazing for you if you want to have success in those things. He lays it all out. So right now, you guys, I felt really strongly about going through each one of those chapters, and I'm just going to summarize. Okay. So I'll go kind of fast. But it's pretty powerful, and it's all about choice, right? Success is a choice. And so I just thought it was really good to go through it. And it was really helpful for me to review some of it. And obviously I'm just going to be tip of the iceberg with each of these chapters. They're very full and rich and full of amazing content and information. So just want you to go back to that if this is something that you've been struggling with. All right. So first one, believe in yourself. If you choose to not believe in yourself, you're not going to live to your fullest potential. You'll be satisfied with mediocre goals and results. You'll make excuses for your failures and accept that that's just the way it is. If you want to become your best, you need to believe your best. Believe in your potential, in who you can become, and rise to it. Have faith in yourself and what you can achieve. Whether you believe you can or can't, you're right. If you believe you can accomplish something, you will. If you don't believe you can, you won't. Make the conscious choice to believe you can. Take action on what you need to do to accomplish what you need to get done, and then do it. And remember that failure is part of the process. What you do after you fail is also a choice. Those who believe in themselves and their goals pick themselves up and try again. You need to start with believing that you can. Number 2, fire up your passion. Your passion for what you need to accomplish is up to you. You have a choice to be fired up or be ho-humming along with life. Who here ho-hums? Just one day in, one day out, same old, same old. Passion creates fire. It provides fuel. Passionate people have and create energy. If you have passion, it's not going to matter if you fail. It doesn't matter if people are against you. Passionate people make the most of their situation, and that keeps them going. Figure out what helps you stay passionate about your goals and do that daily. If you're losing your passion, then you're doing less of what brings that out in you. Make the choice to do more of what fires you up and ignites your passion. Number 3, initiate action. We talk about this all the time, you guys. And honestly, it's pretty obvious that if you don't take action in every aspect of your life, that's a choice. And your circumstances will come from either your lack of action or your ability to take action. Successful people don't wait for everything to be perfect to move forward. They don't wait for problems and obstacles to disappear. They don't wait for fear to subside. Taking action, making the daily decisions that will help you reach your goals, no matter how big or small, will help you get closer to your goals. You have to make the choice to take the actions that will get you there. Number 4, focus your energy. What you focus on expands. Are you focusing on the right or the wrong things? It all comes back to your decision to do what helps or hurts. If you focus on the next right thing and do it, right, the action, then that's what will happen, the next right thing. If you focus on the hard and the wrong things, you're going to go down that path. Where are you focusing your energy? What path do you want to be on? Number 5, value preparation. Oh, you guys, this one's hard for me. So I'm a bit of a procrastinator. I do work really well under pressure. But so this one kind of hits home, and it's definitely something that I need to work on constantly. and be reminded of constantly. But also, procrastination is a choice. And I know that. It can be changed. Lack of preparation can get you into trouble and cause a lot of stress. Catching up isn't very fun. Preparation for tomorrow begins with the right use of today. Choosing to use your time to prepare today will help you have a smoother tomorrow. Number 6, embrace practice. You play at the level at which you practice. Consistently good practice leads to consistently good play. It takes discipline and the decision to do a little bit more every day. Practice makes perfect is obviously a saying we're all familiar with, but isn't this so true? If you don't practice the skills and tasks that you need to do to accomplish your goals, you'll stay right where you are. It's your choice. Number 7, embody perseverance. Perseverance is the persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. It's the daily decision to keep going, even though the end result may not happen for those hours, days, weeks, or years to come. It takes trust and belief, grit and determination to persevere. And it's 100% a choice to continue or to quit. How is your perseverance right now? What choice are you making to stick to your goals and move forward? Number 8, demonstrate courage. So much of our lives has to do with making a daily choice to rise up and be courageous. We can get sucked into our circumstances, past and present choices that have put us where we currently are. It takes courage to admit that things need to change, to step forward in faith, and keep on keeping on. Over and over, God tells us, be strong and courageous. He will not leave you or forsake you. Stand in a place of courage. If you're doing the next right thing, choosing what helps over what hurts, yes, it's going to take some courage, but you have the creator of the universe on your side. He promises to be right there with you, no matter what storm may come or fear that you may have. Seek him and he will guide your steps and path and help you be courageous. Number 9, become more teachable. Oh, you guys, I love this one. Okay, raise your hand if sometimes you struggle with being teachable. Anybody else out there? I think we can all get a little stubborn in thinking that we know what's best for us in our situations. And we forget that there are others out there who have already been where we are and might have some sound advice to share. Personally, I can go in waves of being teachable and being closed-minded. And to be honest, more recently, I was being closed-minded. I had to step back, check my current choices and attitude, and admit to being a little selfish and stubborn to change. Thankfully, the person who talked to me about these things is a dear friend. And because I know that her intentions are pure and come from a heart of love and care, I righted myself, apologized for not being teachable, admitted to what needs to change, and I'm moving forward from there. It's a choice to be teachable, you guys, to listen to advice that's given to you, to be open rather than offended. Chances are the person coming to you only wants the best for you and sees you going down a road of poor choices that may hurt rather than help. Be open to suggestions. You can choose to be teachable. Number 10, develop strong character. Making the right choices shows that you value the importance of having a strong character. Everyone is going to have a differing opinion on what shows good character, right? So just going with what Uncle John suggests in this chapter, he says showing self-discipline, knowing what your core values are and staying true to those values, having a strong sense of identity, which is a positive sense of self and security, and your integrity, which is an alignment of your values, thoughts, feelings, and actions, all contribute to your character. When you hold yourself accountable to having a strong character, you're going to make it a habit to look at your daily choices and work towards doing what helps. If you don't hold your character very high, then the opposite will happen with your choices. Your character and how you view yourself definitely makes a difference in those choices that you make. Number 11, cultivate good relationships. This is a huge, huge favorite, strong one, favorite one of mine. It's so, so important, you guys. The relationships that we have in our lives either make or break us. Who you surround yourself with matters. I'm sure you've seen the posts going around about if you hang around 5 people who do blank, whatever, then you'll be the 6th. You could put anything in that blank, positive or negative. And I'm sure we can all recall a time in our lives, either past or present, that we were influenced either way with the people we had around us. If you want to make good choices, it's pretty important to surround yourself with people who are going to encourage and lift you up, keep you accountable to your goals and tasks, and cheer you on. If you hang out with people who are negative, drag you down, are self-seeking, well, you know what can happen from that. They can affect how we view ourselves and what's going on around us. And eventually that's going to trickle into the decisions that we make. Work hard at cultivating positive, life-giving relationships. If you're on this call, which you all are, and even those of you that have to listen, will listen later on, you are in the right place. I am so, so grateful for what we have here and can personally say, as I'm sure many of you can as well, and agree with me, that being part of this team in Plexus has been a blessing for our relationships. Number 12, commit to responsibility. Simply put, if you have the goal of doing the next right thing, wanting to reach your goals and helping rather than hurting yourself or others, then you're going to commit to taking responsibility for your actions. You'll recognize what needs to be done and do it. You'll own your lack of commitment and move to make a change. I'm responsible for my own actions and my own results in my life. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. I want to do what I can to love Jesus and others well. I want to raise my kids to do the same. I want to honor my spouse in our marriage. And I want to share health and financial freedom with everyone. Proverbs 12 verse 14 says, "From the fruit of their lips, people are filled with good things, and the work of their hands brings them reward." Colossians 3 verse 23 says, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters." We're called to take responsibility for the tasks that we've been given or chosen for ourselves. Take them seriously, commit to being responsible for your actions and goals, and you will have success. Number 13, lean into teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? I feel like this goes back to cultivating good relationships too. We can't do this life alone. We need help from so many people to make every day work. Family, friends, coworkers, we need a village in every aspect of our lives. Choose to ask and give support where and when it's needed. Look for ways to support others. Doing life alone is hard. We've been created for community and support. I'm sure we can all share a story of when we felt like we could handle things on our own, or when we knew we needed to reach out for support, or we stepped in the gaps for people. And I'm sure there's lots of other similar situations. When you have a trusted circle, it's invaluable to your success. So how does this look in relationship to our business? At least the teamwork part, all of it, I've kind of shared a little bit, but this teamwork part is pretty important, you guys. So my biggest thing, and I say this a lot on these calls, is choose to stay plugged in. Include your sponsor in welcome calls, customer chats to help validate what you're sharing with them. Get on live for team calls like this, because as you can see the chat, there's lots of conversation happening, and that's a way for us to share experience, just participate, to lift each other up. Be a part of giving support and even share. Oh, okay, wait a second. Sorry, I'm going back there. All right, participate in team and corporate trainings and events. Get on calls with your sponsor and your upline, depending on where you're at in your business. If you need to do that weekly or twice a month or monthly, do that. Stay connected. It's really important. Share what's going on in your business. Ask questions. It's so important to do that and stay connected. Participate in our Golden Ruby training coaching when you get to those ranks in your business. Just don't do this business alone, you guys. Just like life, we need community or it will get really easy to become unaccountable in your actions. And just like it can get easier to make the good choices that will help you rise and be successful, becoming unplugged and choosing to disconnect will make it easier and easier for you to fall back into bad habits, lose momentum, do less and less of what will help you reach your goals that you set when you started this business. Just really quick here. I know I mentioned a little bit about how I did, how I taught PE. I don't know if everybody was on right away when I was talking about that, but I taught PE for 18 years and I had some good years where I was working with a team, but I really was always alone in my buildings. And my first few years, I had a mentor. Actually, it was more than a few years. It was probably about 8 years, but she was like my mentor. She was like basically my parents' age, but became a very, very dear friend. And I loved that I stayed connected with her. We talked all the time, especially in that first year. She gave me lots of great advice. And every time we had any kind of a meeting or like staff development day, it was awesome that I could connect with her because she was so willing to be a team with me, gave me lots of advice, let me ask her questions. She never acted like she had better ideas than I did. Like we truly did work as a team. And then she did retire. And then the years following, I worked with, kind of still by myself, but there was other PE teachers that I connected with. And not everybody was like a team player. Not everybody wanted to share their ideas or work together for different goals and different fun things. It just felt different. And I missed that a lot. And I got very used to just kind of staying in my own little bubble. I always called it my box because a gym kind of looks like a box. And I retreated quite a bit. And I lost community because I didn't really have another PE teacher that I could connect with or felt really connected to. And I did a good job for what I did, but that's a big piece of just your professionalism, growing more when you feel like you're being plugged in and connected. And I could tell that was something that I think that's part of the reason why I knew that I wasn't going to want to teach for the rest of my life. Because I felt a little isolated, and that's not really my personality. I enjoy people and I enjoy being connected to people. And so that teamwork played a huge role in that for me. So yeah, it really makes a huge difference when you can stay connected with a team. And if you become isolated, it's going to isolate your results and your success will be affected as well. So with Plexus, really quick, I am so grateful, you guys, that I get to do this with my team. I mean, I joined my best friend, and her sister, who's also a dear friend, and then have gotten to be very close with Jamie and Tiffany and Fallon. We have sideline sisters on this team that is just such a blessing. And I mean, think about all of the people on these calls that we get on, you guys, like none of us would be learning from each other and growing from each other if we weren't staying connected. And so when you have people on your team that just kind of opt out from team calls or opt out from book club, or they just want to do a little bit, but they have these big goals of growing their business, but you want to stay tight in your own little world, you are going to isolate your results because you are staying in this tight little space. If you can broaden your teamwork and open your mind to being coached and teachable and to others from other people on our team, then you are going to grow your business, because we have the success right here in Pink Power that is top of the company, amazing. And so, yeah, it's just really, really important to be part of that team effort. That teamwork keeps you motivated, accountable, inspired, encouraged, and it helps you to learn and grow. It builds community and relationships. It adds value to the group. It helps you stay focused and passionate, strengthens your courage, and helps you to persevere because you're doing it together. I'm definitely always going to choose to lean in to teamwork. So at the very beginning of the book, in the very first chapter, John Maxwell shares a little truth that I loved and highlighted from a Dr. Seuss book that we actually had when my kids were little. And I love to read Dr. Seuss because it's such a rhyming, fun yeah, it's just fun. And so I love to do that and read that with my kids. So I remember this book. I don't remember this particular section, but I do remember the book, and it's a fun book. But he shares this little piece of truth. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. So which direction are you going to choose to steer yourself? Thanks for joining me tonight, you guys. I really appreciate you sticking it out and hanging out and listening, and just really want you to think about your choices. I hope you guys have an awesome night. See ya.